Who want one last trip to the long trail?
I don't know what this video is going to be. I seen it on Twitter and I seen there was a bunch of people tagged in it. It said Tekken players are spoiled and I was like, boom, this sounds like a good watch. But seeing that it comes from the great Mike ATL, this is going to be interesting for sure.
We are getting spoiled because live access, or was it live service, is a thing. And I get it, that is the way of the world. But this ain't COD, all right? This ain't Street Fighter. Like, this ain't none of them other games. Y'all want the game to be high resolution, high definition, high quality, high detail. You want the game to work. And then a lot of folks don't want to pay for it. Man, why they always putting something new in the shop? All right, well, how about they just stop doing the shop then?
I will say this. Obviously, I don't like being nickel to dime, like $5 here and there for one outfit and whatnot. But I mean, if you just do a one-to-one comparison with other games, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, $15. Fortnite, $20. Even though Tekken is doing a shop, the price is far less. I mean, just compare Mortal Kombat's story DLC. That was $40. Tekken did one for free. You got to give them some credit. I don't like the shop either. I wish all the customization that was there for free. But we know that's not how gaming works anymore. If you want to change the shop, you got to change all of gaming. We don't have that kind of power. We just got to do what we could do. But with Tekken, at least they're being somewhat fair. More fair than the other games.
Oh man, they nerfing my character. Oh man, this shit need a nerf. How you know it need a nerf? You went to the practice mode?
Nope.
You know how to get out that situation?
Nope.
Do you know you can get out that situation?
Nope.
Oh man, I don't want to have to be an expert. Well, you don't want to have to play the game.
You know, me and Mike ATL are homies. I interviewed him probably like 4 or 5 times. And one of my main complaints is that in Tekken 8, you have to become a pro in order to stop anything. This is why Main Man Sweet says that Tekken 8 is the hardest Tekken, because surviving on defense requires way more skill, knowledge, and understanding than it did in past games. The developers creating the game in that way is not necessary. And my proof, my simple proof, is Fahkumram, Armor King, and Marizu. Those characters are still very aggressive, very fast paced. They still do a lot of stances sometimes, but you don't have to have like a master's degree, a pro level lab regiment when it comes to the game in order to stop them. The risk versus reward is heavily skewed. It's way easier to do a lot of this stuff to your opponent, and then you just put all the burden on them to stop it. The pro can spend all this time labbing and blah, 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 but even they still get cooked. So what do you think all of the dads out there is going to do? All of just the moms out there, the MILFs out there, what are they going to do?
And I know what's happening is people are parroting things that they've heard other people say. Because there's no way they went to the practice arena, know what I know about the game, which to me is just basic about the game that people just don't go in there and try to figure out.
He definitely knows what he's talking about. He definitely knows what he's doing. But at the same time, you're talking about a rare player. Not everyone can get it's rare for a reason. You know what I mean? And I'll be trying to say that. I'm like, bro, Mike, you're not normal. You are not normal, bro. You're like a legendary Pokemon, bro. You're not the average standard Pokemon. You know what I mean? I will agree that there's a lot of players out there who just copy and paste what other people say, or they just talk out of ignorance. Like the people who still think Yoshimitsu is the most dangerous character in the game, like you guys are low-key idiots. Easily 10, 15 characters that's stronger than him. And once you get outside of that 15, he's pretty much on the same playing level as all of those characters. But this is the thing, right? This is either talking out of ignorance, where you're just hating the character and you think that character is the most deadliest thing in the game, or you're just copying other people. There's a lot of that going on. Catch myself talking about things I don't know and people are trying to correct me, I shut up and listen. Or I always be asking questions, always asking the chat, always asking Mike ATL. I'll be always asking questions because I want to know the truth of these things. This is why me and him talk so much.
You could grab somebody out the armor in Tekken 7, and if you grab them too fast, then the armor wouldn't be activated and they could break the throw. But you're supposed to beat armor with throws. Didn't make no sense. Then, if you wait too long, the armor move might kick you in the mouth. So now you can only grab the armor in very specific frame situations, which leaves gaps for other stuff. This game, guess what they did? When the armor move is done, frame 1, you grab them, they can't break the jump. Well,
okay, on that armor point real quick. The armors is kind of too strong in this game. Too much homing, too much tracking, recover really fast. But I also think that they activate so quickly to where people would rather do that instead of play real defense. I run into so many players who are just spamming power crush instead of trying to block and punish. And when your armor becomes so powerful to where people would rather do that than do any other type of defense in the game, I don't know if that's what they intended it to be. I don't know if they intended for players to try. Maybe it is, though. Who knows? Maybe it is. But I don't know if they intended for, you know, a lot of players to try to just spam power crush as their, you know, defense instead of actually playing a real type of defense. And yeah, a lot of times in Tekken 8, power crush or the heat activation, which is like another type of power crush, that's the only way you can survive a lot of the times. When you're at the wall and they're doing these infinite stances and they're slowly kicking your legs and chipping you down, and then you also have chip damage, like, yeah, the clock is ticking, your health is going down. Sometimes, bro, the only way you could really get out of that without having, once again, pro level knowledge of everything, is just to power crush through. I get why the people do it. And this is why I kind of defend power crushes not going away just yet. Because if we're going to keep these infinite strings, these infinite stances, sometimes power crush is the only way to defeat it. So if you want to bring back what power crushes do, you also need to bring back these infinite stances. Because if you just do one without the other, we're really going to be suffering.
The junk is in depth. They covered a lot of the issues. You know, what's his whole name? Nova Saken. He made a video the other day about them taking out the chicken. You know, I listened to him and I was like, you know, it ain't such a bad idea if they wanted to bring it back. You know, it's just like some legacy players. If I got to thinking about it, it's like, man, actually chickening was some cheap shit. What kind of sense do it make? I get to do my move and future-proof my move every single time by smashing on key charge and forward. It don't make no sense.
I like the idea of a chicken, though. With how powerful parries are in Tekken 8, you know, you have parry launchers, you have parries that go into heat. Parries is really crazy in this game, right? Even though people only complain about the flash, other ones out there are really wild. Azina, I never got hit with an Azina parry and I thought to myself, oh, that Azina player was really good right there. Never have I thought that. So if I was able to turn that garbage around back at her, even in the slightest, I would love that. And I also, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that parries, when you broke the parry, you would punch the character off of you, like you would break it and punch them off of you and they would take a little bit of damage. I personally would like that to be on throw breaks. If I break King's chain throw, my character should punch him off of me and he should take damage. The risk versus reward for a lot of these things is so in favor of the attacker. Not every throw should have a punch parry, you know, get off of me chicken style thing to it. But these throws that break gray health, throws that wall splat, chain throws, yeah, you should be able to punch it and they take damage.
So you try to counter my junk and get punched in the mouth for trying to counter me. But if you didn't do nothing, I got frame advantage. It don't really make no damn sense. Now he offered some solutions to it, you know, but at face value, you look back at it, it's like, you know, that mechanic really never made no damn sense.
Hey, you know what I say? A lot of these things have gotten significantly stronger over the course of from Tekken 7, well, from Tag 2 to Tekken 7, 7 to 8. Some of these things like throws, some of these things like obviously power crushes, and you can even talk about parries. They have gotten stronger and stronger and stronger, but the ways to defend against them has stayed the same. Like or have gotten worse. Power crushes, faster recovery, a little bit safer, more tracking, they have gotten buffed. But the ways to defeat them has relatively stayed the same, if not gotten worse. Same thing with throws. Now you have tracking throws. Now you have wall splatting throws, launcher throws, ground break throws. You have throws that bounce off all of the different interactions in the stage. You have counter hit throws. You have, unblockable throws. But the way to stop throws in a lot of those situations, because I know now, you know, with the normal basic throw, you don't have to look at the hands anymore. You could just mash whatever if you see the trail, unless like with character like King or something like that, right? But, you know, for those other throws, they have gotten so much stronger, but your way to stop them has stayed the same. I don't know how you guys would feel. When a move gets stronger and stronger and stronger, should the way to counter it also increase, or should it stay the same? Obviously, applying that logic universally across the board, you would probably run into some issues somewhere. But when you just talk about throws, at least, I feel like throws be so cheap, bro. But you know me, Moonsault Slayer, can't really break throws like that. Let's move on.
Then when they fix something like that, people want to complain about they ain't got old shit in the game. But it's like, it was actually kind of broke. Am I a fan of this key charge change? Not really. I'm not really a fan of the key charge change. But guess what happened? They changed that shit because they realized this junk is kind of cheap. You get up off the ground, and now I don't have to do anything to put you in a situation where I actually have to outplay you. I get to jump in your face and just make you guess.
But if they change the key charge because you're getting crazy mix-ups on wake up, then what's the difference between doing a heat smash mix-up? What's the difference between just, you know, if you have Harang, you do that plus frame mix-up into stance? If that's the reason why they changed the key charge because you were getting broken mix-ups, then what about everything else that exists in the game? And the key charge was much more unique. It was much more risky. It was only a certain amount of characters can do it. It wasn't just so free like a lot of this other stuff is. There was actual downsides to it. The trade-off there is great, right? You can counter hit me, but you can't block.